All right. So, where are we at right now? Where are we at? Look on the 60-minute hourly chart here. Oh, we're already on. All right, pushing up to a pivot point, taking out, pretty much, I think that's pre-market, right? Yeah, taking out pre-market highs. Drop down to the 15-minute. Bouncing off the 200 on the 15-minute, holding it as support. Let's go to the 5-minute. All right, big 5-minute range here setting itself up, so I'll go ahead and mark out those. Actually, I mean, I could pretty much mark out the bottom of that range because I don't think price is going to come back down there in the next minute or so. All right, there's the bottom of that 5-minute range. Let's go ahead and mark out the top. Got about 40 seconds left. In terms of news, let's see what news we got. News. Got any news to worry about? Oh, wow. No news today. Absolutely no news today. So, don't need to worry about any news. We're still ripping up here. 15 seconds for this 5-minute range to form. And all right, there's that 5-minute range. It's a pretty big 5-minute range, I ain't gonna lie. We are just ripping still, so. Let's see what happens here. I think we. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll see. Pretty bullish right now. We're above this pivot point. Got a lot of gaps now that we formed to the upside. We're above VWAP. So far, holding the 5-minute high as support. Seeing if we could break back into this range. We did push above that, we did push above, again, that, where's that? Let me look at it on the other chart. Hold on a second here. All right, trying to push back into the range. Let me look on. So we pushed above. We kind of displacing above that pre-market high. So, man, trying to hold this 5-minute range as support. Bull trap again? Possibly. Possibly, depending on how price reacts here. About to close back inside the range, so first kind of sign, got to be careful for. There's that close back in the range. Kind of a red flag for the bulls, in my opinion, but now I'll be kind of looking for, you know, kind of a maybe a bearish gap to form for me to even think about. That'll kind of confirm to me that buyers or sellers are coming in strong enough to start moving this down possibly. Maybe have like a retracement to this kind of like high right there. All right. All right, while I wait for this, give me a second. I'll be back. Not really giving any bearish imbalances yet. What is wrong with this freaking... Trying to tap back into the 5-minute high opening range. All right, tapping it as resistance. So far, good sign. Good sign. Could potentially see the opposite side of this range get filled. Thing about it is we're not getting any bearish gaps, so nope. Yeah, we may see the opposite side of this range get filled, but I'm not getting an entry so far. Maybe I'll get one down here. Obviously, I'd have to size accordingly, but we'll see when it breaks this low here. Seeing how price breaks. Nope, never mind. A little too choppy for me right now. I gotta get that confirmation. If I don't get that confirmation, I'm not going in. See? We're getting a push back up. There's a super tiny imbalance there. I mean, it's not even worth. Looks like it's working out though. Oh, come on. Don't do this on me right now. Man, looks like I should have possibly taken off that. This is a super tiny imbalance though. I'm not really confident in these super tiny ones. Man, we look like we want to. I'd like a better. That's too. Yeah, that's reaching for the stores. See what happens here. Maybe he takes out this high one more time, maybe. Yeah, imbalance is so small at the beginner eye. Yeah, it's too small to even be significant. It's so small. I mean, that's reaching for me. So I wouldn't even, that's me trying to see something that's very insignificant. There's a super, super tiny imbalance right here. You could see it did respect it. Price came up, respected it, and kind of had a little bit of a sell-off to the bottom of this range. But it's not significant enough for me to be comfortable to take a, you know, an entry off of. I'm gonna wait to see what it does up here. Maybe it takes this high one more time, and or we kind of test this and I get another entry here. So I'd like to see a bigger imbalance for me. Kind of failing to go higher. Another sell. All right, let's see what happens here. $9.30 off longs, nice. Yeah, if you caught longs, nice. All right, we may be getting another imbalance forming, depending on how the next 1 minute candle. Too early to say, but I'm gonna start getting at my calculator just in case. A lot of selling pressure stepping in. In hindsight, maybe I should have taken that entry off of this imbalance, but looks like I should have. Do not copy me. Ah, come on. Don't tell me it's gonna fill the beginning of it again. Bruh. You freaking kidding me? These freaking... All right, give me a second. I'll be back. I'm just taking my setup. That's it. I'm taking my strategy setup. I know we're in bullish territory, but just taking my setup. When you do take a short in bullish territory, you just have to be extra careful. Potentially size a little differently, size down a little bit, or, you know, don't be so greedy on your take profits. I mean, I understand the risk I'm taking, so. See, retesting this range kind of high here. Seeing if we can hold it as resistance. Sellers start stepping in here. We haven't really even tested view op. We pushed down to test that last gap, but we have not tested view op yet even. So, all right, sellers stepping in here. Here they come. Right, it's failing to take out the highs, so making a lower high. Another red flag. What is this flickering? What the? All right, pushing back down. Seeing if we could break those lows. We're coming up on 10 o'clock mark. Got to be careful here for a possible reversal, but yeah, I use Take Profit Trader. I mean, from my experience, they're a good firm. They got daily payouts when you get to past the buffer zone. So that's the biggest reason why I went with Take Profit, because of their daily payouts. I think that's a pretty cool thing to have. If you get to that level where you can start taking daily payouts and you have multiple accounts, it's pretty cool. All right, seeing if sellers can start stepping in here. Let's go. Come on. We need the selling pressure to start stepping in. Come on, NASDAQ. Got a decent amount of selling pressure trying to step in here. So, that's a good sign. As long as they can really take over. It's like a battle right here. We're trying to reject off that pivot point, and there's that pivot point and that 5-minute range. Seeing if we could fill pretty much the opposite side of this range. Come on. Come on. Sellers, where are you? Where are you? Sellers. Come back. Come on, like. on, we got to get that selling pressure. Start stepping in here. Stop freaking... You can see sellers are trying. Every time we get a push up, it gets sold off pretty aggressively. So sellers are stepping in here. We just got to get that continuation, get that momentum back down. Let's go. It's a battle right here. Buyers trying, sellers trying. We're all trying. We're all trying. Gonna bounce up? We'll see. I hope you're wrong. Sellers are really aggressive, so I like to see that. Yes, NQ, NASDAQ futures. Gotta get this sooner than later. Bro, come on. Oh, no, I don't like to see this. Oh, crap. No. No! Son of a fudge. Oh, this sucks. Fudge! What the hell, bro? Ugh. Alright, I'm about to just hop off. Screw this crap. Ugh. Freaking NASDAQ. Ugh. Fudge. Man, this month has sucked for me. This month has been like just break-even month. What a shitty month. Man, we were looking so good too. What the freak? This is such a good trade. I don't regret taking that trade. It's just, it sucks. Yeah, well, why'd you have a short bias? It's just my strategy. I mean, a lot of times, right, 80% of the time we close back into this 5-minute range. We typically go to the opposite side of the range 80% of the time. Today just didn't work out. Tapped into the middle of that range and then kind of just bounced there. A lot of gaps. We do have a lot of gaps to the upside, which could be a reason why. You know, we got a lot of bullish gaps here. We got, you know, here. Bullish gap there. So, like, that'll be something I journal from the loss. That there were a lot of bullish gaps. So, end up being a loss. So, from a technical standpoint, that's hardly a range. What are you talking about? It's a freaking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. That's like a 180 point range. What do you mean that's hardly a range? Is 180 points, almost 200 points, not a range? That's crazy. I don't know what kind of ranges you look for. Yeah, range baiting me. Stop range baiting me. Ugh, man. Just hurts, man. It hurts. I hate taking losses. I ain't gonna lie. May have to size down next tomorrow. Sucks. It's been a hard month for me, bro. It's been a hard month for me. This month has not been good to me. It's been just a break-even month. Last month was good. This month is just like I'm just hovering. Actually, I'm not break-even right now. I'm in drawdown right now. I may have to, honestly, I think I'll have to size down next trade. I mean, until I get the momentum back, which kind of sucks, but. I have 7 50K accounts. I'm looking, trying to look. We did have a small imbalance. If I would have took it on that tiny imbalance, would that have been a better... Thing about it is, I'm not taking these dinky little imbalances. They're so, like, insignificant. It's not... but we closed back inside. That would have been... Let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 60, 65. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Damn it. See, if I would have taken that first imbalance, I would have technically just hit a 1-to-1. So, the best trade there, in hindsight, would have been that tiny imbalance, which is crazy. Typically, I don't like taking tiny imbalances. But looking back in hindsight, that would have been the best. That would have been the best trade. Because you would have hit a 1-to-1 if you would have just taken it off that first small imbalance and just taken a 1-to-1 just for this kind of support area here. Would have been the best trade looking back. Well, so Looking back, yeah, I should have took this first inbound, this tiny one here. I have a copy trader. I use Replicanto copy trader, and I copy trade 7 accounts using it on Ninja Trader. Drawdown on 50K accounts is too small, too much stress, get bigger account. I don't think it's too small. Why do you think it's too small? You think a $2,400 drawdown is too small? That means you're just trying to size in too big. It's not the sizing, it's not the account size that's the problem, it's your position sizing that's the problem. Yeah, they're too small if you're risking $1,000 per account. Per trade. Yeah, that's too small. But if you're risking, you know, $300 per trade per account, it's not really too small. Yeah, base hits add up. I typically take base hits. So trying to figure out if tomorrow I should technically... Man, this has been a tough month. This is the first time. Typically when I'm in funded accounts, I go on a run typically. These accounts, I'm going on some drawdown. A little bit of drawdown, not a lot. Like 1,100, so man. Yeah, no, it's not the drawdown part. That's just, you know, it's not the account size part. That's I'm sizing accordingly to my data. So, like right now, hypothetically, right? I'm allowing myself one more trade. If I hit one more trade at a full loss, say for example, if I come in tomorrow and I take a trade and it's a loss, a full size loss, I have to half size until I make back at least one trade, one full size loss trade. So I'm kind of protecting myself to the downside when I do go through some drawdown. I protect myself so that, you know, I don't blow up. What most people do is they go through the drawdown, they start sizing up to try to make it back faster, and they blow up. What I do, if I go through some drawdown, I size down and kind of, you know, take a step back, try to make back some, and then go from there. All right, now we're bouncing off this 5-minute high. I mean, we're pretty much going to go up, I think, at this point. Man, this sucks. It really hurts, man. It just sucks that I just didn't take, like, I was looking at this small one too, but then I'm like, man, it's such a small gap. Should I really take that small gap? And it ended up being the best the better gap to take. It's all right. It's the hardest part about trading, man, is being in a little bit of a drawdown is the hardest part about trading. This is where it separates the good traders from the bad traders. The traders who go on tilt and try to make everything back and try to, you know, size up and blow up their accounts versus the people who take a step back and, you know, they continue the grind. That's all you could do is just continue to follow your plans. Like I said, I mean, they did back testing on this. Typically, you have this 5-minute range. Once it closes outside and closes back inside the range, there's like a, you know, there's like a 60 to 70% chance that, there's like a 70% chance that it goes to the opposite side of that range. So, even with like a 70% chance of it going to the opposite side of the range, you know, still you're going to have losing trades. That's just part of it. It sucks, but, and like I've been kind of sloppy too, because this was a good loss. I'm not gonna lie, this was a good loss. The other ones, I had other losses that I took that were kind of like my fault. So I was just being sloppy. One loss I took, I didn't follow my rule. That's the reason I took a loss. Like, this one technically could have been a winning trade if I took the first gap that presented itself, but it was so tiny that I just didn't want to. I just thought it was too tiny to kind of be significant enough. So I wanted to wait for a bigger gap, which I got, took it off the bigger gap, and got stopped out. But technically, if I would have taken this first small gap and just took a base 1-to-1 risk to reward, like that would have been a winning trade instead of a losing trade. So, well, that's all hindsight though. That's just hindsight. Yeah, and I size according to, I size according to the structure and how much I'm willing to risk, you know. So I allow my trades to like breathe, and I'm down. I took a loss. It's been a really November's been tough, man. I mean, I'm acting this way. I'm not like, you know, I'm not like an insane amount in drawdown. I'm like 1-2 trades. On my Apex accounts, I'm 1 trade in drawdown from being pretty much break even, right? I'm 1 trade away from being break even on my Apex accounts. On my Take Profit Trader accounts, I'm 2 trades away from being break even. So I'm not like crazy in drawdown that it's like, you know, nothing I can't bounce back from. It just kind of sucks that, I mean, let's face it, no one wants to be in drawdown. Especially when you go back and you see like it could have been a winning trade if you would have done this or this, and but that's why you learn. You live and you learn. It's part of trading. You're gonna have bad months, you're gonna have amazing months, you're gonna have slow months, you're gonna have decent months. It's just not every month is going to be good. But the difference, right? Like the difference between me, I took a loss. Guess what? I'll probably walk away at 10:30. So I can walk away. I'll be good. You'll definitely not hear me come in tomorrow and say, I blew up my accounts. Yeah, so I'm thinking what I need to, yeah, so the game plan going forward is I'm allowing myself one more full-size loss. If I take one full-size loss, I have to half size now to protect myself. And just be very careful about base hits to work it back up. Ugh. Oh, Apex, it's the last day for Apex's, sale. I'm sure they'll have another one, so, but it does end today. And then I had that other day, freaking, that day where the market tanked. I took a short. Market fills me, comes back up, stops me out just to drop 1,000 points. I'm telling you, this month has been like. And that other trade, that was a trade that was my fault. That should have also been a winning trade if I would have taken the right entry. So it's just been a little bit sloppy. These alpha features, I'm starting to hate it for charting because I need position size as a... The thing that helps me with, I don't know if you could do this on the platform you use. Thing that helps me with position sizing the most, I don't know why nobody talks about this, but have these grids. If you see on my chart, I don't know if you could tell, but can you? I think so. If you see these little boxes on my chart right here, I have my grid set to 10-point increments. So, right, because they're set to 10-point increments, I can easily figure out my position sizing. Like that for that trade I took, right? I was easily able to, if I want to risk, $400, it's very easy to figure out because, what I did, right? Say the middle of this gap, you just calculate right here. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 30, 40, 60, 65. So that's 165 point risk if I take a short from this gap. 165 point risk, $20 per box. So every 10 points is a $20 per contract per box. So you just multiply it. So if it's 160, I would take 2 contracts in order to be about a $400 risk. It's like $360 risk. So you're able to quickly calculate it just by counting those boxes. And you can technically go, you don't even have to count the points. You could just go 20, 40, 60. You just count the $20 increments and then you get to that. And then just multiply it by how much you want to risk. And I can literally calculate risk in a matter of, 10 seconds. I can figure out my risk and quickly do it. I don't have to pull up, no sizing thing or no risk calculator online or... Tradeovate. Yeah, I don't know what Tradeovate. I use obviously I use Ninja Trader, so I don't know how Tradeovates is. Still holding this 5-minute high. Looks like it wants to drop, to be honest with you. I mean, it's failing to make highs. It made this high here. Made another high, failed to break that high. Now we're just dropping. So, watch this thing just drop all the way to the bottom of the range now. We're going to be rich. We're going to be rich. Still holding this 5-minute. I mean, it's a green day. It's a red day for me. I think we could. We're kind of losing momentum here. Ooh, to the upside. What do the higher time frames look like before it? Kind of curious to see. Yeah, and this is kind of something you also have to be mindful of, right? Like we're coming up to this 200 on the hourly chart. We're also, you know, we kind of broke this high, displacing above it, but we are tapping into a resistance area. That 200 is a pretty big resistance area. And, you know, depending on how this candle closes, which, I mean, it's still got like 30 minutes left, pretty much, but we kind of displaced above too. We got this range, but we pushed above, displaced above it. But yeah. And something also to look out for, just me kind of reviewing that trade, right? You do have to be mindful of areas like this. I mean, looking back, when you have a high like this, and then you have a bunch of gaps in the way like that, so there's a lot of kind of support. So you do have to be extra careful because, right, this could hold as support, which in this scenario, it did hold as support. You could kind of see why price bounced right there. Makes sense, right? Price came back down and we have this old, right? All these highs up here is a pretty strong support level now that we broke it. So now we have all this support. That's where it bounced off of. Now, just to be mindful of, you know, if you are, like, in my situation when I was taking a short, I had to be mindful of that. That's why that would have been the best gap to take, just because, right, you want to buy as high as possible because you know that there's resistance here. So but typically, you know, when you're going with momentum, like if VWAP was above price and we were like rejecting. Typically you could hold longer, but if you're going kind of against price, you're going against the trend, you have to be careful where you take profits. More careful than if you're going with the trend. And like me, this is me saying this with my strategy, right? Sometimes I go with the trend based on the strategy. Sometimes I have to go against the trend. It's part of the strategy. So, but I have to realize that and, you know, take profits accordingly, take my entries accordingly. Man, my freaking... We're still, I mean, you can see how powerful this range is. Look, we were rejecting. Now we're bouncing off it. I mean, so you could tell how powerful these ranges are. So that's why I'm saying once we broke out of it and we broke back into it, that's kind of, for me, that was like, all right, we could possibly flip to the opposite side of the range, which we started to kind of dump, but we only dumped to this kind of high. I mean, this support, because there's a lot of support down here, so that's where we bounced off of instead of going to the opposite side. So we just kind of went to the 50% mark. Actually, we filled pretty much like 60% of that range. So it's all right. All right, I'm about to hop off. I mean, there's nothing else for me to take. So, sucks that I had a losing day, but I was hoping to end. Last Monday was a green day, so last Monday was a green day. I was hoping this Monday was going to be a green day too, but it could have been, but hindsight 2020. That being said, no, I am going to journal my loss and try to learn from what I did wrong and try to improve on that. But that being said, I'm gonna hop off. No reason for me to stick around, really. But I'll be back tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Another day. Yeah, I'm gonna take. I'm still sized up. If I take one more full size loss, I have to size back down. So half size. But we'll see tomorrow. I mean, I'm going to be patient and just continue doing what I do. But that being said, I'll be back tomorrow. So you have a good day. Don't overtrade. It's fine if you took a loss. Walk away. No big deal. There's always tomorrow. So peace out.